We are on week 10 of an 11-week series. Let's go. Let's go. I like that. Week 10 of 11 weeks. When we started, how many of y'all thought this was going to take forever? Dang, dude, was that you? Oh, gosh, dude, Maya. Dude, someone get her out of here. We need someone to escort Maya out of here. Debbie Downer. Don't worry about it, Ollie. No, I felt like it was going to take a long time, but here we are. It feels like no time has, it feels like just boom, it's just passed. We're done. We're here. We're at week 10. If you don't know, we're talking about the 10 Commandments, the ancient way. And what I love about this is we know the 10 Commandments. Some of us don't. Some of us kind of do. We have an idea about it. But in the Old Testament, Moses actually breaks down the 10 Commandments in Deuteronomy. And I was curious, what would it look like in 2026 for us to live in the ancient way? What does that look like for us, and how is God calling us to live? Because this year is a year about formation, about discipleship, about making Jesus first, and regardless what it looks like, stepping into discipleship with him. So most of us, we grew up thinking that sin is what you do. You steal something, you lie to someone, you hurt someone. Like, those are obvious. Like, those leave evidence. We can see when someone does that. But the last commandment doesn't care about evidence. It doesn't say don't take. It says don't want. It says you shall not covet. Say covet. Coveting is not about what you do. It's about what you want. And whatever you want deeply will eventually shape what you do. You see, God goes straight past the hands and into your heart. And that should actually bother us, because it means you can look obedient on the outside and be completely broken on the inside. And I would bet that's probably most of us in here. We live in a world that constantly asks one question: do you want this? Do you want this? Every scroll, every ad, every influencer, every recommendation, the goal is not information to you. The goal is formation. You see, you don't just see things. You're actually being trained to want them. And Moses would say that's dangerous, because desire is never neutral. And whatever trains your desire eventually will rule your life. What's crazy about the 10 Commandments, this isn't a random placement. The 10 Commandments move in a very intentional direction. They go from who you worship to how you represent God to how you treat people, and finally, what you desire. See, God saves the deepest surgery for last, because you can fake obedience. You can fake contentment. But coveting is the sin that is underneath the sins. It's the reason this commandment comes last, is because it explains the rest. You see, murder often begins with resentment. Adultery begins with desire for someone who is not yours. Stealing begins with wanting what someone else has. Lying begins with protecting something that you covet. See, the 10th commandment exposes the root. You can fake obedience on the outside, but God goes after what's on the inside. It's the engine that drives everything else. The inside, your heart. And if we're honest, you want to be honest tonight? This is where it stops being about people out there, and it starts getting uncomfortable for us. Because coveting isn't just something that bad people do. It's something that religious people hide. A lot of us hide it. You can follow the rules. You can show up to church. You can look disciplined and still quietly believe, God, you got something wrong with me. You did it wrong. You see, coveting sounds like wanting more, but it's deeper than that. It's that quiet frustration when someone else's life is working and yours isn't. It's that moment that you see what they have, and something in you says, why not me? And you don't say it out loud, but your heart starts to drift. And at its core, coveting is not a desire problem. It's a trust problem. Because the moment you start believing that what God gave you isn't enough, you're not just wanting more. You're actually questioning whether God is good. And coveting is the moment you decide that God has mismanaged your life. I want to tell you guys, I want to know who's with me. How many of you guys like going on the internet to watch funny videos? It's a thing. It's good. I love funny videos. Is anything for me personally 1 a.m.? That's when they're the funniest. Is that just me? I could watch a video at 9 p.m., not funny. Listen, it might be because I'm sleep deprived, but 9 p.m. funny video, not near as funny. 1 a.m. video, got tears. And usually it's late at night, I just woke up, I'm old, so I have to go pee. I'm like, let me just see what's going on real quick. Then I start scrolling, then I start crying. Reminded me of a story. We were at youth convention. Who's been to youth convention? Yeah, dude, y'all got to go to youth convention. It's awesome. And before youth convention is camp. Where's my friend Peyton at? You going to camp? Yeah, she says she's going to camp. Yeah, she's locked in. Peyton's going to camp. Y'all better get to camp. Jordan, you better get to camp. Okay. So we're at youth convention, and me and Ty and Brett, we're sharing a room. And Brett got lucky this year. He got his own bed. Next year, it's my year. So I have to share a bed with Ty. And I'm in bed trying to sleep, okay? Who's ever had to, share a bed with someone who wouldn't go to sleep? You're like, dude, go to sleep. Okay, so Ty is just, he's in the scroll. He's getting after it. I'm trying to sleep. And the next thing I know, I hear something. I hear him kind of giggling, you know. He's like, it's like that 1 a.m. giggle. And I'm like, well, dude, I got to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. So he doesn't know that I'm here because it's dark and I'm stealthy, all right? I'm stealthy. I'm a big guy, but I'm stealthy. He had no idea I was, right over his shoulder. And he watches this video, and I don't remember the video, but I remember he was laughing, and then I go, and I said, go back up. And he got really freaked out. Anyway, hopefully you guys, I know most of us can relate, dude. We just need to go to bed. Okay, just go to bed tonight. Don't scroll when you want to scroll. Just go to bed. What's crazy is what started out as funny quickly didn't become funny. Because sometimes you don't get to control what you see. You're just swiping. And the next thing I know, I'm watching people who have nice cars. I'm watching people who have more money than me. I'm watching people who I think are doing things that, man, maybe I should be doing. That would be nice. Maybe that is what life is supposed to look like. And it quickly became a moment where comparison and desire feeds and grows and spirals out of control. And I know this happens to you guys. And what starts as funny quickly becomes not funny. Because you close the app and something inside of you feels off, like your life doesn't measure up. And the problem is this, it's not occasional anymore, it's constant. You don't have to go looking for comparison, it finds you. You open your phone and within seconds you're looking at somebody else's life. Their highlight reel becomes your insecurity. And suddenly your life doesn't feel wrong, but it doesn't feel like enough. You guys been there? You see what their body looks like. You see what their image looks like. You see all the attention they get. And now you're not just noticing, but you're questioning yourself. Why don't I look like that? Why don't I feel like that? You see their life, you see their money, you see their relationships. And it's not just that you want it, it's that your life starts to feel smaller without it. And here's what's dangerous. The algorithm does not care about your soul. It studies what you look at, what you linger on, what makes you feel something, and then it feeds it back to you again and again and again. And so now this isn't just a moment. This becomes a pattern. And that pattern turns into a feeling that your life is always lacking. And after a while, you don't even realize that it's happening anymore. It just feels normal. But it's not normal. It's what happens when your heart is being trained to stop trusting that what God has given you is enough. I want to go a little deeper. This isn't just about your phone or what you see. It's about what it's doing to you. And for some of you, this isn't about wanting more. It's about feeling like your life didn't turn out the way that you thought it would. You thought you'd be further along by now. You thought you'd be in a different place. You thought you have a different relationship, a different version of yourself. And when you look around, it feels like everyone else got theirs except you. And somewhere along the way, the lie started forming inside of your heart that if I had what they have, I'd finally be okay. If my life looked like theirs, I'd finally feel like I matter. So it's not about stuff anymore. It's deeper. It's about worth. It's about identity. It's about that question, that quiet question. Did God forget about me? Because you don't just feel behind, you feel overlooked. You feel unseen. You feel like you did all the things right and still things didn't work out. And this is where it gets heavy because you don't just question your life, you start questioning God. You start questioning His timing, His goodness, His plan for you. And you may never say it out loud, but deep down, you've wondered, why would God do that for them and not for me? And so you scroll, you smile, you keep showing up, but on the inside, you're tired, you're exhausted. Because no matter what you achieve, it never feels like enough. That's what coveting really is. Not just wanting more, but living with the constant feeling that your life is lacking. Coveting is not noticing someone has something, but it's fixating on it. It's craving it. It's resenting God because you don't have it. Again, coveting says, if I had that, I'd finally be okay. It's replaying the comparisons in your head. It's imagining life if you had what they have. It's letting someone else's blessing become your bitterness. James 1:14-15 says this, but each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. Then, when desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it's full grown, brings forth death. You guys notice sin does not start on the outside, but it starts on the inside. It starts inside of you. It's not about the thing, it's about what you think the thing will give you. Security, worth, peace, status, control. Coveting is desire that no longer trusts God. If you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. And it always follows the same path. Notice. You notice it. You notice that they have it. You compare. I don't have that. You interpret. That's not fair that they have that. I should have that. You desire. Now you're thinking, I deserve that. I haven't seen that before, but I saw it now, and now I deserve it. You justify. I'm going to get that however I can, however I need to. You see, every major sin begins here. Again, adultery starts with I deserve better. Stealing starts with they have too much. Lying starts with I need to protect myself. Coveting is the quiet decision that God didn't get it right. What's crazy is this pattern actually shows up in Genesis. At the up front, it's the very first sin in the Bible. In Genesis 3, Eve sees the fruit. It looks pleasing. It becomes desirable, and then she takes it. She sees it. She desires it. She takes it. The first sin in human history started with coveting something that God had withheld. which means the final commandment, is warning us about the same root problem that started the fall. At its root, it says, God, you have miscalculated. It suffocates the voice of gratitude with what you've been given. Instead of being grateful that you can see, that you have parents, that you can walk, that you can taste, you become ungrateful, and gratitude leaves because coveting suffocates it and it takes it out. And that's why this commandment matters so much, because it's unbelief disguised as desire. Coveting begins the moment we stop trusting that God's portion for us is enough. We get into some of the stuff Jesus teaches about, and he doesn't treat coveting as a small internal issue. He treats it as something that steals life. Listen to his warning in Luke 12. He says, take heed and beware of covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses. Your life is not built up in all the things that you have. That is not life. That phrase, take heed, means to pay attention, to watch yourself, to guard your heart. And Jesus is saying that coveting is sneaky. It doesn't announce itself. It slowly reshapes how you see your life. And for many of you guys, you don't see yourself the way that God sees you. You see yourself through the lens of social media and the things that you think you should have. So then you see your life as less than. And then you struggle with self-worth. But God sees you as a son and as a daughter. He sent his only son to die on a cross so that you could have life, not death, life. I want you to remember, these 10 commandments weren't given to slaves. They were given to free people. They are a way to show us how to live free, how to live with life, how to have life in freedom, so that we can show the world around us, because we all know that they are struggling with the same thing that we're struggling about. The difference is we know a way. A way to Jesus, a way to freedom. And here's the reality. If you keep living this way, if you're always comparing, if you're always chasing, if you're always feeling like you're behind, you will never enjoy the life that God has given you. Even if things get better, it still won't be enough. That's how it works. It's hungry. It wants more. It's never enough. Because coveting doesn't just steal your joy, it actually wears you out. It keeps you running after a version of life that was never yours to begin with. And this is why Jesus doesn't just confront coveting. He offers something better. In Matthew 11, he says, come to me and you will find rest for your souls. Come to me and I will give you rest. Because the answer to a restless heart isn't more stuff. It's not more things. It's rest. It's trust. There is a way to live where you are not constantly chasing, not constantly comparing, constantly feeling like your life is behind. I'm telling you, y'all think I'm crazy and old. It is designed. Your phone and social media and all the stuff, it's fun, it's whatever. But I'm telling you, the more you stay on it, the more you just keep feeding the thing inside of you that says you're not worth it, that you don't have a good enough life. Then you start to worry, am I ever going to have that life? Then you begin to feel anxious, and then you begin to find yourself in this cycle of you're not enough. Practice self-control, practice discipline. It would be crazy if you guys were just like, you know what? I'm done with social media. I'm I'm telling you, your life would change. Your mental health would change. Your heart would change. You'd begin to see colors again. Begin to see the people in front of you again. Let it go. You see, the ancient way doesn't chase what others have. The ancient way learns to rest in what God has given you. I've been on this journey for a long time. It's been about 1.5 years. I've been asking God to help me be financially free. I want a 1 and a ton of zeros. Not just a ton of zeros. You don't need just zeros. I need a 1 in front of it. I know what I'm talking about. I remember I was praying. I said, God, I need it. He said, dude, I'm not gonna set you financially free. I'm gonna set you free from finances. And then he began to take me on this road to learning what contentment looked like, to learning what rest looked like. I stopped chasing the things that I didn't have. I began to see my wife and my kids who were right there the whole time. I began to enjoy friendships and relationships better. I was in the moment. I was present with the life that God has given me. Stop chasing what others have and learn to rest what God has given you. That's freedom. Freedom's not having everything that you want. It's being at peace with what God chose for you. So the 10th commandment exposes something we rarely talk about. It's not what we do, but it's what we want. And coveting quietly reshapes how you see your life. And the danger isn't that you want more. The danger is believing what God has already given you is not enough. And I want to ask you to be honest tonight. Answer this to yourself. Who do you compare yourself to? Whose life makes you feel behind? What do you believe would finally make you okay if you had it? Because coveting always whispers the same lie, that if I had that, I'd finally be satisfied. But when comparison trains your heart, you never settle, you're never grateful, you're always chasing something that's always out of reach. I'm telling you guys, that's not freedom, that's exhaustion. And I know most of you guys feel that tonight because that's how you're living, because that's how we've been trained to live. Tonight's not about pretending that you don't struggle with comparison. Listen, we all do. We all struggle with it. It's something that's inside of us. We were born with this nature. It's about surrendering the lie, though, that someone else's life would fix your life. And some of you need to release comparison. Some of you need to release envy. Some of you need to release resentment. Some of you need to release the pressure to measure up. Some of you guys just need rest. You've been comparing your whole life, and your soul is tired. And Jesus says, come to me, and I will give you rest. So tonight I'm going to ask that if you want to pray a dangerous prayer that says, God, teach me to trust what you've given me, to be thankful for what you've given me, to have gratitude. If you're tired of comparison stealing your joy, if you're ready to stop chasing somebody else's life, if you want God to reshape your desires, and you want to experience life for the first time and freedom, then I want you to